in this video, I'd like to introduce you to our topology, because the better we're familiar with where the routers are and how they're connected, the more able we're going to be to increase our learning regarding OSPF, including its configuration, verification that it's working, and troubleshooting along the way. So let me introduce you to our lab topology. And I designed this specifically with intention to demonstrate and work with OSPF, but also to make it pretty easy to remember where stuff is. I remember whenever I see a new topology, sometimes it takes me a few minutes to figure out, okay, where's this network and where's that network? So here is what the overall plan is for this network. We are going to be using the 10.x network with a 24-bit mask. So we're going to use a 24-bit mask across the board everywhere. And for this X, here's what we're going to do. Between router 1 and router 2, it's going to be a 12, representing the two router numbers. And if you ever look at two routers and their connection, think, okay, which is the lowest router number? That's going to come first. So this is going to be the 10.12.0 network with the 24-bit mask. Between router 1 and router 3, I'd like you to think with me, what network or what subnet is that going to be? If you're saying, well, Keith, it's going from R1 to R3, that's going to be the 13 subnet. You'd be right, 10.13.0. And from R3 to R4, subnetwork 34. Fantastic. And then from R2 to R4, that's going to be network 24. I'll put that over here. And then for this serial connection, this slow connection between R3 and R2, also each of the routers, they're going to end, the last octet's always going to be their router number. So R1 is going to be .1 everywhere, R2 is going to be .2 everywhere, R4 is going to be .4 everywhere, R3 is going to be .3 everywhere. Perfect. Also, for these networks coming off the ends, the G00 interfaces respectively, those are going to be the same as the router number as well. So this is network 1, 10.1.00. This would be network 2, 10.2.0.0. This would be network 3, and this over here would be network 4. And that way, anytime you see an IP address, you'll know, oh, it ends with .4, that's R4. Or it ends with .1, that's R1. Or it's the 10.1 network, you'll know it's out here. So my call to action, what I would encourage you to do is, I know that taking screenshots and pictures and all that is useful and helpful, but I think actually writing this out and taking just a few minutes to jot it out on a tablet or a paper or what have you, that's going to be helpful as you better understand this topology and where the pieces are. Also, for the OSPF labs, I thought to myself, what's the most effective way to teach OSPF with this? And the answer was, have all the IP addresses ready to go. So all the interfaces and all the IP addresses are already configured. But I also thought, you know, Keith, that's what I call myself, I thought if somebody's fairly new to networking and to Cisco and they want more practice configuring interfaces and bringing them up and putting on the IP addresses, why not? So I also put a virtual lab as part of this video. So if you want to, you can take this topology right here, which is already ready to go, but short of the IP addresses. So that would include on the interfaces for each router, bringing those interfaces up, assigning IP addresses. Also, there's one other piece if you're doing the hands-on here to build the infrastructure, which is great. On the serial interface, on one end of the serial interface, you have to do clock, rate, there's a space there, and just use 64,000. So this would be just on one side, either R2 or on R3 on the serial interface. We need to issue this command just once, and also encapsulation PPP. By default, it uses HDLC, so I want to use PPP for the lab, but that's the only additions other than standard IP addressing across the board. So if you're up to it and want the extra practice, rock on, my friend. And either way, I'm super excited that you're joining me for this journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Meanwhile, I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.